Welcome everyone. Match day 33. What a cracker of a match day it was. And it sets up the match day 34. Probably I think should be the one of the worst best ever match day. I mean it couldn't get better that the Champions League spots are not decided, the UEL spots are not decided, the UECL spots are not decided, and moreover, three teams are going into match day 34 tied on the same points, only differentiated by the goal difference. What can we ask for? What we Bundesliga fans can ask for more? I mean, I would quickly run through the matches which happened, and after that, I want to discuss the. I mean, I try to cover all the permutation combinations. I might have missed some, but I want to go through each and every permutation and combination because it's very very interesting. When I say it is very very interesting, I literally spent more than an hour to do my research. What can pan out and how it can pan out and what would be the results. So, starting with the first match, it happened back on Friday night, Dortmund versus Frankfurt. So, in this game, Frankfurt needed points. Even a 1 point could have made a big difference. But sadly, they did not collect any points. And Dortmund, they secured their second position in the league for this season 2025-2026 season. So match started very quickly. Kane Uzon, he scored in the first 2 minutes. It was 1-0 lead. And after that, Frankfurt tried to sit back and absorb the pressure. But we know Dortmund are very dangerous when it comes to, defending that second position in the league. So they kept on trying, and finally, Ryerson, what a season he had! He grabbed his 14th assist of the season, and Girassi scored his 16th goal of the season, and they equalized in 42nd minute. And then after that, just after 3 minutes, 45 plus one, Nico Schlotterbeck, he fired Dortmund into the lead. It was halftime, 2-1 to Dortmund at halftime. And then after the halftime, Frankfurt tried a lot, but they were not able to make a lot of chances. And but one young star, upcoming star, an Italian footballer, Inacio, he scored his first ever Bundesliga goal, his debut goal, his maiden senior goal in 72nd minute, and he made it 3-1, which kind of looked game set match. But then Burkhardt, who was on a goal drought, he broke his goal drought in 87th minute. It was 3-2 to Frankfurt, but it was way too late. And Dortmund did everything; they did their best, and they preserved their lead, and they got their 3-2 victory, which kind of firmed and finalized their number two spot in the league for this season. So now, jumping to the next game, another game with the Champions League, hunter, and they have sealed their place for the next year Champions League, the next season's Champions League, I should say. So it is RB Leipzig versus St Pauli. They got a 2-1 victory, but here the point for St Pauli was very important, but sadly they could not grab the point, and with that, they go to the final shootout on the final match day, and whereas Leipzig, they secure the Champions League football. The game started very quickly here as well. In the 7th minute, there were three back-to-back big chances for the Leipzig team, but they did not convert any. And then game died on a bit. Leipzig were on the ball, Pauli playing on the counters. By 33rd minute, what an opportunity fell to cards. It was a sitter, 1v versus 1v goalkeeper, and that guy, he hits the crossbar. He rattles the crossbar, and the ball bounces back. It was a beautiful golden opportunity gone for this team, St. Pauli. But this Leipzig team, they are very dangerous. And Schaller on his final game of with Leipzig, as he's leaving in the summer, He scored the opening goal, and then it was just right before the halftime in 45th minute, and Leipzig, they got 1-0 lead, and they went into halftime with the 1-0 lead. After coming back, Leipzig got a quick opportunity in 53rd minute. Or Drago, he hits the post, which deflects back for the corner, and from the corner, Orban, he scores from the header, makes it 2-0. It looked like Leipzig are gonna, dominate the game from there, and it was about to happen when Gruda, he scored in 60th minute, but it was minor offside, which ruled out the goal for them. But then Cisse, at the death, he scored for St Pauli. It was way too late. Leipzig hold to 2-1 victory and granted their Champions League spot for the next season going into the final match day. So they don't have any pressure to play with. They are good for the next season. Whereas St Pauli, we'll discuss about those permutation combination right at the end of the video. So now going to the next the match, this was a direct shootout for the Champions League spots. It was Stuttgart versus Leverkusen. So it would not have granted anything for any team, but it was a direct shootout match with Stuttgart. They came out big at home and they won 3-1 versus Leverkusen. Game opened extremely quick here, like I have been saying in other games. Garcia, he opened the scoring in the first minute of the game itself. He opened the scoring and he gave them, Leverkusen, the visitors, the lead away from home. But Demirovic equalized just 4 minutes later in the 5th minute, 1-1. Demirovic, he had a big game, when Stuttgart needed. So it was 1-1 by the 5th minute. It was end-to-end game. Both teams tried to create the clear-cut opportunities, but they were not able to. And then Demirovic, he nearly had an opportunity to make it 2-1 in 43rd minute, but Flaken made a beautiful save. But then Demirovic, right before the halftime, he won the penalty, and Middlestad, he scored the penalty and gave 2-1 lead right before the halftime to Stuttgart. And then after coming back, Demirovic scored again, but it was ruled offside. It stayed 2-1. And then Onda, he finally made it 3-1 from a beautiful leveling cross, and it was game set match. Stuttgart, they got 261 points. So we'll discuss the permutations for this as well. I mean, there are a lot of permutations involved, so I'm leaving that for the end of the video. Moving to our next game, Augsburg versus Gladbach, 3-1. It was an inconsequential game for Gladbach. They have already secured their status for next season in the top flight. Augsburg, surprisingly, they are still in the UECL hunt. I realized, when I was going through a table. So this win was very crucial for them. A 3-1 victory. Gregorovic, what a beautiful game he had. He scored the opening goal, and then he's in 24th minute, he scored again in 27th. But again, it was a very minor offside, and it was ruled offside. But then quickly after that, Follower, he made it 2-0, and they led 2-0 before the halftime. And then after the halftime, Felvor, he got his brace 3-0 by 68th minute. It looked like he has the brace, but it was ruled offside again. And then in 72nd minute, Gregorovic scored and he made it 3-0. And Gregorovic got the brace, but Felvor didn't. And then Iriana from Gladbach, he scored in 90 plus 2 minutes. Match finished 3-1. And I will discuss the permutations for Augsburg in the end of my video. Now, moving to the next game, another Champions League, spot chasers, Hoffenheim versus Bremen. Bremen got an early red card in that 5th minute when Sagawara he stamped on the calf of the player, of the Hoffenheim player, and he was sent off. And then they were down early to 10 men. And then Hoffenheim tried to create chances, but they were not able to create any clear-cut opportunities. But Toure, in 28th minute, he got the opportunity and he scored the goal. But even with 10 men, Bremen, although They have secured their spot for the next season in the Bundesliga. They look very hungry. They created more opportunities than Hoffenheim, and that too on counters. In 35th minute, they had a chance, and right before the halftime as well, Bremen had a chance, but they missed both. So scores remained 1-0 before the at the halftime. After coming back right after the halftime, Jima, he had a big opportunity to make it 1-1 in 49th minute, but he squandered the chance, and it stayed 1-0. Then Pras he came as a sub for Hoffenheim. He had a long shot, which was saved by Beckhaus, and it went to the corner. And from the following corner, Nader Berger, he tried to bend across, but beats everybody, and he hits the crossbar. Goalkeeper was beaten, defense was beaten, the strikers were beaten, and it hits a crossbar. It would have been a wonder goal, but not to be. But thankfully for Hoffenheim, the game stays 1-0, and they stay in the Champions League spots hunts. So now, moving to Sunday's game, Hamburg versus Freiburg. Hamburg, they won 3-2, their last game of the season at home for 2025-26 season, and they were absolutely rolling. They won 3-2 versus Freiburg. Freiburg, with this win, had they won this game, they could have sealed the UECL spot at least after reaching the historic UEL finals for the first time. But not to be. Those tired legs, I was watching the game, you could feel in the game that Freiburg are struggling. So for the Hamburg, they started the game very quick. Jata, he scored his first ever Bundesliga goal in 14th minute, but then Matanovic, Hamburg born striker, he equalized quickly in 16th minute, made it 1-1. And then Vieira for Hamburg, he hits the post with a long ranger. After that, nothing much happened in the half, and the score remained 1-1. But after coming from the half, the game just lit up. So Hamburg missed an opportunity in 52nd minute to score the goal, but Vuskovic in 64th minute, he scored a low free kick, a deflected one, went to the goal, and he became the highest goal scorer for Hamburg this season with 6 goals. That's a trivia for the Hamburg. And then Balde, after that goal in 67th minute, he scored from a quick counter, made it 3-1 Hamburg. It looked like game set match, but Matanovic, he got his brace in 87th minute, but it was too little, too late. It was 3-2 to Hamburg. Still 3-2 to Hamburg, although Freiburg tried to, come back, but they left a lot of space behind them. And Hamburg, they had 2 brilliant opportunities to make it 4-2 and even 5-2 at that, but they missed both of them. And one Vieira hit the post, and the other one Felipe. He has an easy one-on-one chance, but he missed it. But thankfully, Hamburg, they win the game 3-2. They stay in Bundesliga. So let's see what they do next season. Now, coming to the next game, it was Cologne versus Heidenheim. Billy Goats Cologne, they have already, had the spot sealed for the next season in Bundesliga. But Heidenheim, they are fighting for that miracle. And they set up that photo finish for the relegation race for the next match day. They won the game 3-1. Heidenheim got all the 3 points. Schaupner, he opened the scoring in 8th minute, but Butler, he scored. He tied the game 1-1 in 10th minute. Absolutely a cute angle. Everyone should watch that game. Highly recommendable to watch that game. And then Arloni Ibrahimovic, he assists the first goal for Schaupner. Then he scores the goal in 28th minute to make it 2-1. It was 1 goal, 1 assist for Ibra by 28th minute. Halftime 2-1 to Heidenheim. And next time, when they came back after the halftime, Ibra could have got another assist, but Heidenheim missed a sitter, and the score remained 3-1. Then Ibra tried to curl one in 63rd minute. He missed that, but then Schaupner, he rose to the occasion, made it 3-1 by 72 minutes, and it looked like game set match. But then Butler was denied from point blank by Feller. It proved to be huge, and Heidenheim, they got another 3 points, 3-1 victory for them. It is, I mean, the final match day is set up like, I can't even tell what the final match day is looking like. We'll discuss that just in few minutes time. Now coming to the next game, Union Berlin versus Mainz. Mainz home, Berlin away to Mainz, and it was a historic game. Marie-Louise, she got her first ever top flight win, first ever women, manager to win a top five, uh, senior football game. What a historic moment for the lady! Extremely happy for her. And the game started with Olise everywhere. His effort was saved in the 8th minute from a point blank range, but in 38th minute he got his goal. It was 1-0 at the halftime, but they had a lot of chances to make it 2-0, but they missed it. It could have been 2-0 by the half. After coming back, Backer, ex Union Berlin player, he scores versus his ex club, makes it 1-1 by 47th minute, and then Podolski had a chance to make it 2-1, but a brilliant save by Klaus keeps it 1-1. Then Titz, he scores in 57th minute, but it was ruled offside. These offside rules are really huge, man. They rule out so many brilliant goals. Although I'm a big fan of VAR, but sometimes it hurts, when such beautiful finishes doesn't count for anything. And then Union, they had a late surge. Olise hits the post in 83rd minute, but Barca, he scores in 87th minute with a beautiful finish. And Zuzanovic, he scores from a beautiful counter, makes it 3-1. And Marie-Louise gets the first historic win for Union Berlin. And also, Union Berlin saves their status for the next season. Now, coming to one game which I really want to talk about a lot. It's FC Bayern's game. A game, we are coming back from that painful exit versus PSG, 1-1 draw. Here, we played some of the rotated team, some players were rested, and then, but way Wolfsburg started, I mean, they literally had an XG of around 3 by halftime, but score didn't reflect it. Urbig made some big saves, and also Wolfsburg missed a couple of very easy chances which they should be scoring. So the game started with Urbig making the save in 7th minute itself, and then it was all Wolfsburg. But from a corner, Tom Bischoff, he had a chance. His long range effort hits the crossbar. After that, Jackson had a big sitter missed. He should have been scoring there, but he missed it. And then Kane, Harry Kane, he misses a penalty. How often have you heard that, Harry Kane missing a penalty? So Harry Kane missed a penalty. Score remained 1-1. Oh, sorry, 0-0 at the halftime. Wolfsburg ideally should have been 2-0 up. That's some of their season. They create a lot, but they have not been able to, make those chances count. Not able to convert those chances, and that hurts them really bad. And then after coming from halftime, Olise, he runs down that Robin channel and he scores with the left foot. He curls, to the far corner of the goal, and he makes it 1-0. And then, it was then also Olise became only the second player to get 15 goals and 15 assists in a season. It was Jadon Sancho in 2019-20 season. Now it's Olise. He's currently on 15 goals and 19 assists. He's 2 assists short of Muller's all-time record of 2021-22 season, where Muller grabbed 21 assists in a single season. So that's a record. But that was a game set match. Wolfsburg, they kept on creating chances, but they were not able to make it count, and that is where they are still on 26 points. They are on relegation playoff zone, which we are going to talk like just in a few minutes. But I have a couple of important points which really I want to discuss about FC Bayern Munich. FC Bayern Munich, we need very, very, capable backups to Diaz, Kane. It's absolute call we have for Olise, so I won't raise that issue. But for Kane and Diaz, we absolutely need someone who is not Nicola Jackson. No hate, but he is not FC Bayern Munich level player, and especially after playing such an high intense season, I am really worried that our players might get injured. They might, because of the World Cup year as well, they might run into ground, which will not be a really good shape because Vincent Company, we know he only plays my way. He doesn't has any other way of playing the football, and that is the other point which I want to raise. The way we play UCL high stake knockouts, that's not really the approach. He should really look at the clips of Jupp Heynckes, where he knew when to defend, how to defend, and he defended the leads beautifully, and he knew when to play the mid block. Even Luis Enrique, he showed us that. After getting the early goal at Allianz Arena in third minute, he quickly shifted his defenses. He made it to a mid block, and he played on counters. I mean, if they had Kvaratskhelia, we had Michael Olise. If they had Doe, we had Luis Diaz. If we had Dembele, we had Harry Kane. We could have done the same in the first leg. It could have been done, but somehow he stuck to his gun, and we came with 5-4 defeat from stadium from the PSG game. So I really hope Vincent Company. I really hope to see that change in him, that he stops being stubborn and he shows bit of flexibility, and that he's a great man manager. There is no doubt about that. But if he shows that flexibility, tactical flexibility, it would come a long way, and who knows, we end up winning a lot next season. So I am really keeping my fingers crossed, and I really hope Vincent Company, he watches the games again, all the Champions League games, and he comes to the same conclusion. And my personal choices for this summer would be Marcus Rashford and Grimaldo. These two players, Grimaldo could be an easy, like to like replacement of Rafa Guerrero, and Rashford, he can give us a lot of goals and a lot of assists, and he can give us a good competition to Diaz, and he can also play that false nine role, which could be really helpful. And last point regarding FC Bayern, Joshua Kimmich. He is not a number 6. I have been saying this in my WhatsApp groups. Whoever are there, they would know. He cannot play a 6. He is like more of an attacker who is a number 8 or who can play a right back. He cannot be a 6. And this thing has been hurting us still since 2021-2022 season. I was doing some of the research today, and in that research, I came across one very interesting profile, that is Mateus Fernandes of Portugal. He is very good on the ball. He's press resistant, and he's great defensively. He is just almost there with Palinia when it comes to defense, and is lot better on the ball. Him in our midfield, he would elevate our midfield right away. It's a no-brainer. If West Ham do get relegated, he could be available for anywhere around 40 to 50 million. We should be all in for that deal. It's an absolute necessity of a deal for us right now. So we'll discuss more about FC Bayern. I'm planning to do a live stream on that as well. So we'll do that. Now coming to the team who made an historic achievement. They reached the UEL finals for the first time ever in 122 years. SC Freiburg, a club from Black Forest, have done the unthinkable. So now they face mighty Aston Villa. I'm saying mighty, given their budget and given their coach. Unai Emery has only lost one final, that is with Arsenal. Apart from that, he has won every UEL final he has played in. He has a UEL hat trick as well, and then he has won UEL with Sevilla and Villarreal. Out of 5 finals, he have won 4. So they have mighty tough, task on their hands. But I am keeping my fingers crossed that they are gonna do the unthinkable. Let's pray for them, guys. 20th May is the day when they play the finals. So we all would be watching the finals very closely. Now, coming to my favorite part of this video, match day 34. The permutation and combination of this match day, they are huge. The one Champions League spot is up for grabs, and there are 3 teams which are competing for it: Stuttgart, Hoffenheim, and Leverkusen. Stuttgart and Hoffenheim, they are tied on 61 points, whereas Leverkusen are on 58 points. So anything can happen. So Leverkusen, their scenario is pretty simple and pretty straightforward. They hope that Stuttgart and Hoffenheim, they both drop their points and Leverkusen get the win. That's it. That would seal them. When I say drop the points, Stuttgart and Hoffenheim both have to lose their games. That's the catch for them. And Leverkusen, they have to win their game, and that would and that too by 2 goal difference, and that would guarantee a Champions League spot for Leverkusen out of nowhere. Now coming for Stuttgart, it is also not too many if and buts. There are some if and buts involved with the Stuttgart team. They have to defeat Frankfurt. They are playing away from home. They defeat them. It's simple. They get the Champions League spot. But in case they are not able to defeat them and they draw their game, then they have to hope that Hoffenheim do not better that result. That is, Hoffenheim at best only draw and they drop the points as well. So that will seal the Champions League spot for Stuttgart. And now coming to the Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim are playing versus Gladbach. So for them, it is a must that they defeat Gladbach. And if they are not, they have to hope. Even with defeating, they have to hope that Stuttgart, they don't win, and maximum they draw the game. So if Stuttgart draw or if Stuttgart loses and Hoffenheim are able to win their game, that means Hoffenheim are going to Champions League. I personally would be rooting for them. I really want to see Kramaric and Baumann in the Champions League. So I have my personal favorite there. But it's not so straightforward for Hoffenheim. A draw of Hoffenheim and the draw of Stuttgart will mean Stuttgart going through. So that means Hoffenheim have to win their game and hope that Stuttgart either loses or they draw their game. So that would help Hoffenheim to secure their Champions League spot. Leverkusen, like I mentioned, they have to hope that both Leverkusen and Hoffenheim loses their game. And Leverkusen, they are playing home to Hamburg, and they hope they thrash them. They, absolutely, destroy them, and that would give them a Champions League spot. So now, this was the Champions League and Europa League spots combinations. Now, coming to UECL spots. Here also, 3 teams are involved: Freiburg, Frankfurt, and Augsburg. One catch: if Freiburg finish at 7 and secure the UECL spot, and also if they win the UEL finals, then Germany will not have any team in the UECL next season. So that's one big catch, my friends, which I want you to remember. Now coming to the permutation and combination. Freiburg are playing a tough game versus Leipzig, but Leipzig have secured the Champions League. So we don't know which Leipzig is going to turn up. So for Freiburg, it's very simple. If they want to secure the UECL spot, win the game, this thing is dusted. They don't care about anything else. So that would secure the Europe for them. And then whether they play UECL or whether they play Champions League will depend on their game versus Aston Villa. So if they win the game, they play Champions League. If they lose the final, they play UECL. So that's the situation for Freiburg. Now it comes to Frankfurt. They have to hope that Freiburg do not win the game. Freiburg should only draw, or the best for them is they lose the game. So that means Frankfurt have to win their game no matter what. Even if Freiburg loses, Frankfurt draws, Freiburg has a better goal difference, so they will go ahead into in the UECL spot. So Freiburg has to, Frankfurt, they have to win. I forgot what is a point tally there. Just give me 1 second. Let me check the exact point tally. Yes. So Freiburg are on 44, Frankfurt are on 43, and Augsburg, they are also on 43. So that's the catchy situation here. So that makes this very interesting. So Frankfurt, they have to hope that they win, and Freiburg either drew the game or they loses. So that would guarantee a UCL spot. And also, if that happens, if that happens, that would mean that if Freiburg are to win the Champions League, the UEL finals, then they will directly qualify for the Champions League, and that would mean one extra team from Germany would play in the Europe next season, that is Bundesliga. And so, situation of Frankfurt again, I repeat, win the game and hope Freiburg either draw the game or they lose the game to Leipzig. And Frankfurt are playing a very tough game versus Stuttgart, who themselves find them, in their Champions League race spot. So for sure, Stuttgart are going to give everything in that game. So it's going to be a cracker of a game. And then for the next team, the surprising package here, Augsburg. They are also on 43 points, but the sad part for them is their goal difference is very bad. So Freiburg are -9, Frankfurt are -4, and Augsburg are and just now while talking, I realized if Frankfurt draw their game and Freiburg also draw their game, if Frankfurt loses, so Frankfurt can also afford a draw if Freiburg loses, because Frankfurt has a better goal difference than Freiburg. They are -4, and Freiburg are -9. So a draw in Frankfurt game and a loss for Freiburg also guarantees Frankfurt the UECL spot. Wow, that's a combination which I discovered just right now. So now coming to the Augsburg, their goal difference is -12 and their points are 43. They are tied with Frankfurt. So for them, it's very simple, very straightforward. Frankfurt and Freiburg, they both have to drop the points, and Augsburg, they have to win their game. So they have to win their game. It doesn't matter how, they have to win, and they play Union Berlin on the last match day. So win the game, Freiburg draws or loses, Frankfurt draws or loses, Augsburg are through to the UECL. And also an interesting trivia. I don't know if it has ever happened. I might have to check it. It could be the only instance where two Bavarian teams would be playing in Europe. Augsburg could be playing in UECL, and VFC Bayern Munich would be playing in Champions League, of course. So that's the thing. UECL, one spot, 3 teams. UCL, one spot, 3 teams. So that's the top 4 race and the race for number 7. Now, coming to the next part, the relegation race. It is still alive, still kicking. 3 teams tied on 26 points. Only differentiator between them is goal difference. Wolfsburg have -26, Heidenheim have -29, and St Pauli has also -29. So Heidenheim are above St Pauli right now because of the head-to-head, since goal difference is tied. And what makes this even more interesting, it's a direct shootout. Wolfsburg versus St Pauli. So St Pauli would be playing home and Wolfsburg, they would be playing away. So Wolfsburg, its equation is simple for them: win the game, they get to play the relegation playoff, which they played in 2016-2017 and 27-2018 season, when they escaped both the times. So for them, it's simple. They have to win the game, get that relegation spot, and hope that Heidenheim do not better their GD if they are winning the game. So that's the equation for Wolfsburg. For St Pauli, they have to win the game, and they have to make sure, if they have to get the relegation spot, they have to make sure that Heidenheim, they do not, if they are winning, they have a better difference than Heidenheim. The St. Pauli have to assure that. So that is what it takes for St. Pauli to get that relegation playoff spot, the final lifeline of Bundesliga. So for both the teams, they have to win the game, and then they have to hope that if Heidenheim are winning, they do not better the goal difference. And also, if both teams settle for 1 point each, then they have to hope that Heidenheim do not win the game, because if in this game it ends up in a draw and Heidenheim win their game, then Heidenheim miraculously they get to that relegation playoff spot. So that's another catch here, a big catch. So now, coming to the Heidenheim, they are gonna play the game versus Mainz on the final match day. Mainz have nothing to play for, so we don't know which Mainz are gonna turn up. So Heidenheim, they have to make sure that they win the game, and they win it by a 2 or 3 goal margin, so that if Wolfsburg or St. Pauli are winning by a small margin, they are able to better that goal difference, and they are able to get to that relegation playoff spot. So it is all to play for, on the final match day. And currently, in Bundesliga, it is Hanover who are on the third position right now. Our player, Noel Esco, he plays there. They are also the in Bundesliga as well. Elsberg, Hanover, Paderborn. So they are tied on 59 points each, and they are also one match day is remaining. So no one knows who's gonna meet who. So even Bundesliga is very interesting right now. Let me check what is the schedule for that. So Hanover, they play Nuremberg at home. Paderborn, they play Darmstadt away, and then Elsberg, they play Proben Monster on the final match day. So that's something to watch out for, and that is gonna happen on May 17th. I'll be watching that as well. That this looks an interesting competition as well. Now coming to Bundesliga, I want to check who the relegation playoff match could be against. It's all open in Bundesliga as well. So whosoever wins gets that 16th magical 16th position, will have to play the playoff spot. All three teams, Wolfsburg, St. Pauli, and Heidenheim, they have their chances. So let's see what happens. When was the last time we were going into the final match day and we didn't know who's gonna play UCL, who is gonna play UECL, who is gonna get relegated, and who is gonna play that relegation playoff spot, and also from Bundesliga, who is gonna play that relegation playoff spot match. Man, Bundesliga has been absolutely amazing this year. It's such a cracker of a match day on Saturday. We all would be keeping tabs on that. Until then, Mia San Mia, and also there is one special episode coming up, hopefully, if everything goes well. Keep track of the channel and keep track of the our Instagram handle as well. That is the Total Football. We will keep posting all the updates whichever we have. So till then, Mia San Mia, let's jump. I really want to jump to match 34. It's still 5 days away. So let's see what happens. Until then, take care, everyone.